Hey friends, welcome to 1 Minute with Monée, a podcast where we help busy adults live life with balance and harmony 1 minute at a time. I'm your host Monée, owner of Time Managed LLC, a full-service concierge and personal assistant business in Atlanta, Georgia. Visit our website, timemanagedllc.com, for more information about our services. Every week, I'll share tips for how you can manage your lifestyle and tackle your to-do list efficiently. Before we get into our discussion, let's listen in to our quick tip for the week. Hey friends, now I can guarantee that you and your family are not as safe as you think you are. The statistics are alarming as it relates to the repercussions for not having safety in mind in all you do. So my quick tip for the week is to take time to evaluate how safe you are, create a plan, and implement tactics to ensure that your home is protected, that you are protected when you travel, and that your children are safe at all times. Tune in to the next episode of 1 Minute with Monée, where we will go deeper into this topic. Until then, be well and be balanced. Hey friends, welcome to the next episode of 1 Minute with Monée. This is the start of season 2, and I am so excited. We are now 21 episodes into the podcast that I love, 1 Minute with Monée, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is very important, and that's safety. Now, I know that safety is not something that we always pay attention to. It's not the sexiest of topics, but it's something that affects all of us every single day. And if we pay attention and we put the measures in place, then safety is going to allow us to continue to live boldly, to rest peacefully, and protect what matters most. So in this episode, we're going to cover 3 areas: protecting your home, keeping your kids safe, and also traveling smart. So I've got some eye-opening statistics, practical tips, and then a few Atlanta-based resources to help you take action today. If you are not in the Atlanta area, please use your resources, Google, AI, to find similar resources in your area. So let's start with the place that we should feel the safest, and that's our homes. Did you know that in 2023, 78% of preventable injury-related deaths in the U.S. happened at home? So that's about 98,000 lives lost to things like fires, falls, poisoning, and drowning. Now, the cost of this is more than $1.2 trillion a year in medical bills, lost productivity, and lost property. Now, if you live in the Atlanta area, like me, the projected cost of crime in 2025 is $142 million. So that's about $1,200 per household. And so safety matters. Now, the few things that you can do, and what I like to say, is to make sure that you are covering all the blind spots in your home. So not only do we think about security at our entry points, so the doors, windows, and even your pet doors, but also have someone come to your home that can consult with you to help you understand where there may be some blind spots where you should also take into consideration some of these other safety measures. So that might include motion sensor lights, security cameras. You can use Ring or Blink. Those are some of the more popular brands. Also, test your smoke detectors. So that's inside your home. Make sure that monthly you are keeping track of all your smoke detectors and making sure that they work. Keep a fire extinguisher in the kitchen. The other important thing to do is to make sure that your family has a plan. So if there is a fire while you are sleeping or even while you're awake, your family knows where's the common meeting point, what to do, what are the common exit points of your home. If there's a fire in one part, what are other places in your home that can be exits for you? Also, from a community perspective, join your local neighborhood watch. So there is something in the Atlanta area called Secure Neighborhood Initiative, and they have workshops as well as alerts. If you don't have one in your neighborhood, make sure you look that up, and perhaps you can lead an initiative for your neighborhood as it relates to the neighborhood watch. If you're not in Atlanta, just search neighborhood safety programs near me, or you can also contact your local fire department because they typically offer free resources. The same with your local fire department. They also have resources for protecting your home, fire safety, etc. Now, the next one is keeping your children safe. This is personal because as a mom of 3, I know how much energy goes into keeping our kids safe, whether they're in your home, outside of your home, going with friends, or in school. And there are statistics that show why this is so important. So in the U.S., unintentional injuries are the leading cause of death for kids ages 1 to 14. In 2021 alone, there were over 8 deaths per 100,000 children between the ages of 1 to 4, and over 4 deaths per 100,000 children ages 5 through 14. Now, about 3 million kids visited the emergency room for non-fatal injuries. I was probably one of those parents. We have been to the emergency room for our children several times over the past 17 years or so. Now, next, let's talk about swim safety. Drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death in children under 5. If your child hasn't had swim lessons, now is the time. And I know in the South, most children have gone back to school, so that might mean there is less time in the pool for you and your family, but that does not mean it's time to stop making sure your children are safe. You can take swim lessons all year round so they can be prepared for the next swim season. And if you're outside of Atlanta, the summer is not over. There are children who have not gone back to school yet, and it is still warm in the South, so there might be opportunities for you to continue to use pools and go to the beach and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that our children are well equipped to not only be strong swimmers, but also they should be equipped to know what to do if they're ever in trouble in the water. In Atlanta, you can check out Swim Kids of Georgia, the Atlanta Swim Academy, which both offer classes, parent-child swim classes, and CPR training. If you're not in the Atlanta area, search for Red Cross certified swim classes or even ask your pediatrician for referrals. The next way that we should think about keeping our children safe is predators. So I know it's a little uncomfortable, but it's necessary. The one thing that I really leaned into as I was raising my children is to teach body autonomy early. There's no secrets from grown-ups, no forced hugs, and that makes sure you know that your child can come to you if they're in trouble, no matter what, and let them know you won't be angry, you won't blame them, whatever it takes for you to make your child comfortable, to know that they can trust you no matter what. Safety also means communication. So if they are in trouble, they need to know exactly what to do. So the only way to make sure that they know exactly what to do or say is to role play different scenarios, talk about boundaries, and be the safe space that your child needs. Now, the third part of our safety plan is safety while traveling. So whether you're traveling across the globe or road tripping somewhere near your home, travel safety is key. Now, there's a statistic that might surprise you a little bit. Air travel is the safest mode of transportation in the U.S. There were only 9 fatalities in commercial air travel compared to over 26,000 deaths in passenger vehicles. Now, while cars do have 42 injuries per 100 million miles, planes have just a small, very small fraction of that, 0.007. So how do you travel smart, whether you are flying or in a car? Make sure that you share your itinerary with 2 trusted people. Make sure you have both digital and paper copies of your passport and ID. And then use anti-theft bags or a simple money belt to help prevent or deter theft of your personal belongings. The other thing you can do is register with the U.S. Embassy through the STEP program if you're traveling abroad. The resources for that will all be in the notes for this episode, so you can go to the U.S. Embassy and check out the STEP program to learn more about it. And for your next international trip, make sure that you register. Now, if you are in Atlanta, check out the Global Secure Adventures. They host monthly travel safety workshops. And for everyone else, you can also search for travel safety classes near me. There's also online classes around travel and keeping yourself safe via Lonely Planet or Coursera. And I always like to say to make sure that you are aware of your surroundings. So no matter whether you are traveling locally or internationally, make sure you are alert, not in your phone. Make sure you have a plan of where you're going. If you get lost, have a plan B so that someone around you can help you and that you are aware of where you are at all times. There are also things that I like to take with me when I travel to ensure that my locks are reinforced in the hotels or the temporary rentals that I may choose to stay in. So if you go on Amazon, you can search travel locks or travel reinforcement, and I'll put some of those links in the notes to this episode as well. And I take those with me, whether it's a simple door stop or even something more advanced. You'll be able to choose from a wide variety of options. Now, this episode was not meant to instill fear in you, but it's really about freedom. So if you are prepared, informed, and intentional, again, you can still live boldly, live fully, and continue to have those adventures, but with a safety net that you've built yourself will allow you to continue to do this. Again, I will drop all the links to the resources that I mentioned in the show notes. And if you are somewhere else, don't sleep on what's available in your city. Likely the same things that I mentioned for the area that I live in is also available to you. Google is your friend, your local libraries, rec centers, the public offices in your community, such as police offices or local libraries, rec centers, etc., are treasures for you to take advantage of. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this very first season. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this first episode of season 2. If you've learned something today, please share this episode with someone that you love and care about. And let's keep spreading smart, life-saving information. Until next time, be well and be balanced. Thank you for joining me this week. Let's continue the conversation on social media at 1 Minute with Monée on all channels. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Until next time, be well and be balanced.